Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rajuu. Good afternoon. Today I will present about my quantitative research about the correlation of pronunciation and speaking habit at SMAN2 Solo. Okay. Background of the problem. Language is system of communication. It's basically a means both oral and written communication. Language is very important when people want to express their ideas. The purpose of conducting this study is based on problem identification, asking whether there correlation among English pronunciation skill and English speaking habit. This correlation study uses questionnaires and oral tests in collecting the data. Many students whose English pronunciation is not precise and good. There are many ways that can be done to improve it. The habit of speaking English can improve English speaking because they often speak and can practice communication with study friends. The habit of speaking English is very effective to be applied in everyday life. B. Identification of the problem. According to the background above, there are some problems. 1. Students do not confident when they speak English. 2. Students have any difficulties in speaking because they think speaking English is very hard. C. Elimination of the problem. From the identification above, the writer focuses in the research about the correlation between student pronunciation and speaking English habit. D. Formulation of the problem. Based on the background above, the problem comes up in the research will be formulated as follows. Is there correlation between student pronunciation and their speaking habit? E. Hypothesis. The objective of the research to find out whether there is correlation between student pronunciation skills and their speaking habit. F. Purpose of the research. To know, is there correlation of pronunciation and English speaking habit? G. Significance of the research. The following is used to research. 1. Theoretically. 2. Practically. G. Scope of the research. A. Subject of research. B. Objective of research. C. Place of the research. D. Time of research. And H. Keyword. In Chapter 2, Review of related literature. A. Review literature of theories. Definition of pronunciation. Pronunciation is the act of manner of pronouncing words, utterance of speech, a way of speaking a word, especially a way that is accepted or generally understood, and a graphic presentation of the way a word is spoken, using phonetic symbols. Frankel, 1984, expressed that there are two main steps to learning how to pronounce a language. A. Receptive or list stage. In this stage, we learn to differentiate the significant sound and pattern by listening to the language. 2. Productive or speaking. In this stage, we learn to speak or to product what we have learned before. B. Teaching pronunciation. Learning English language with teaching media like audiovisual will bring students easy to learn and make student interest. The pronunciation teacher should be a good model to study. Otherwise, the student will initiate hard pronunciation and learn making mistakes. Inaccurate pronunciation of the phoneme can lead to misunderstanding. It happened because Indonesian students have difficult in pronunciation English words due to influence of students' seven language and environment. As Daniel Jones stated that one, the material is pronunciation teaching, and B, English consonant. According to Kelly, 1000 chapter 47, consonant can be described in turn the place of articulation. The example is A. Labidental, B. Dental, C. Alveolar, and D. Palatal, F. Velar. And next is English diphthongs. Diphthongs are sounds which involve a change in quality during their reduction. Is the communication of vowel sounds. Diphthongs are presented phonetically by sequence of two letters. There are closing diphthong, vowel diphthong, centering diphthong. First is rising or closing diphthong. The position of the tongue when the second vowel is pronunciation higher than the first one. And two, falling diphthong. The position of the tongue when utter the second vowel is lower than the first one. And third, catering diphthong. The position of the tongue when utter the second vowel is the ID central. And D, stress. According to Jones, 1958, chapter 57, the force of the breath with which a syllable of pronunciation is called stress. Stress varies from syllable to syllable. It's the fact generally sufficient to distinguish only stress and unstressed. A. Intonation. Jones 1948 and 49 states in speaking the pitch of the voice. The pitch of the musical note produced by the vocal cord is constantly changing. This variation in pitch are called intonation. And two, principle of pronunciation teaching. According to Penny principle, in teaching pronunciation are A. Having a suitable curriculum. When teachers teach something, they start to help students acquire some primary concept on which they can build more complex understanding. And B. Being the student center. Teachers have to know how to make students understand information given. For example, for students who cannot pronounce some English sounds, needs to have more knowledge about pronunciation. And C. Helping learners become self-reliant. Many students have wrong perception about what is involved in learning pronunciation or in learning in language in general. And D, or last, giving opportunities to practice. In fact, pronunciation is a sub-skill of speaking skill. Teacher role in giving training to students to pronounce English word and giving correction to students in pronouncing English words. And three, strategies in pronunciation teaching. According to Kelly 2000 chapter 16, there are some strategies in pronunciation teaching. The first one is drilling. Drilling is main way of pronunciation practice in classroom. And B, chaining. Chaining is used to drill long sentences involving difficult words and sounds. And C, problem of pronunciation. And many students have problem in learning English, especially in spoken English language. There are many problems faced by students to study pronunciation according to Harmel 2007, chapter 250. There are following. 1. What students can hear. Some students have great difficulty hearing pronunciation features which we want them to reproduce. And 2. What students can say. Learning a foreign language often presents us with the problem of lexical unfamiliarity. And 3. The intonation problem. Some of us find it extremely difficult to hear tone or to identify the different pattern of rising and falling tones. And C. Speaking habit. A definition of speaking habit. Speech habits are the words and phrases that you use every day. Without thought, we all have speech habits. You originally learn your speech habit from your parent, your family, and your close friend. B. Advantages of speaking habit. The first one is improve fluency. When you're speaking and when you are talking to an English speaker, all that you learn in your language student so far need to be on call at moment notice. And 2. Improve communication skills. When you're studying at home alone, it can be very hard to truly recreate the communication side of learning a language. Language is a tool for communication, and this part of learning process is so important. And B. Review of related finding. Based on the result of described statistical tests showed that speaking habit had 106 for the higher score. The low score is 100. So the range is 37. The main score is 87.80 in total. Standard deviation is 8.66. This result indicates that second semester of SMN2 Solo use English as their habit is sometimes frequency. Table of person pro the result in table above show that the value of correlation between speaking habit and pronunciation skills of second semester of SMPN2 Solo is 0.295. All the result show that the value is higher than 0.05. It means that there is no significant correlation between speaking habit and speaking accuracy of the second semester of SMN2 Solo. And 3. Theoretical framework. Theoretical framework shows the speaking habit has effect to student pronunciation skill and speaking habit. Its compare class become two groups. They are experimental class and control class. Through this theoretical framework, it can be understood that this research is to investigate the effect of speaking habit of pronunciation skill in SMN2 Solo. And that's all of my quantitative research. Thank you for your attention. See you.